Have you noticed how the loneliest relationships aren't the ones where you're alone, but the ones where you're technically with someone? Because he was there, physically, in the room, on the phone, in my bed. But emotionally, he was always somewhere else. And the terrifying part is, I didn't wake up one day and realize I was losing myself. It didn't happen loudly, There was no explosion. No final argument, It happened slowly, quietly, in ways no one ever warns you about. At first, I defended him, not to others, to myself. He's just not expressive. He's been hurt before, he shows love differently. And the more I explained him, the less I listened to myself. Then I told myself something even more dangerous. If I love him better, he'll feel safer. So I adapted, I softened my needs, I lowered my expectations. I told myself I was being mature. I stopped asking questions that made him uncomfortable. Because every time I did, his energy shifted. I stopped bringing up conversations that felt too emotional, because I didn't want to feel like a burden. I stopped expecting reassurance, because it felt selfish to ask for something he didn't naturally give. And every time I did that, he leaned in just enough to keep me hoping. Not enough to feel secure, just enough to stay attached. The pattern was always the same. When I needed clarity, he pulled away. When I went quiet, he came back. When I detached, he chased. When I opened up, he disappeared. And one night, I caught myself doing something that scared me. I wasn't typing a message. I was rehearsing it over and over in my head. Not because I wanted to communicate, but because I was terrified of pushing him away. I was editing my emotions before they even left my body. That's when it hit me. I wasn't being patient. I wasn't being understanding. I was self-abandoning. And the worst part, I thought that was love. This is where most people completely misunderstand avoidant partners. They reduce it to character flaws. He doesn't care. He's emotionally immature. He's broken. But here's the truth that's harder to swallow. Avoidant partners don't avoid you. They avoid emotional exposure to them. Closeness feels like danger. Dependence feels like loss of control. Needing someone feels like weakness. Not logically, but neurologically. Their nervous system learned early on that connection comes with consequences. So intimacy doesn't feel safe, It feels threatening. That's why they regulate relationships through distance. When you lean in, their body panics. Not because you're doing something wrong, but because closeness activates an old survival response. When you pull back, their system finally calms down. And that's why this dynamic feels so destabilizing. Because your pain isn't random. It's designed by inconsistency. This is intermittent reinforcement, the same psychological mechanism that keeps people addicted to slot machines. Sometimes you win, most times you don't. But you never know when it's coming, so your brain keeps playing. And here's the part no one prepares you for. You didn't stay because you were weak. You stayed because your nervous system adapted. Your body learned that love equals unpredictability. Your mind learned that effort equals closeness. And consistency started to feel unfamiliar, boring, suspicious. Peace didn't feel romantic. Chaos felt like chemistry. Let's slow this down because this matters. You communicated, you reflected. You tried to understand instead of attack. You didn't weaponize emotions. You didn't demand. You didn't manipulate. You gave space when they needed it. You waited when they pulled back. You tried to love them where they were. Those are not weaknesses. Those are secure traits. The problem was never your capacity for love. The problem was where you placed it. You tried to build emotional safety inside someone who learned to survive without it. You were speaking the language of connection to someone fluent in distance. That doesn't make you needy, It makes you human. Now comes the part that hurts to admit. You started measuring your worth by things that were never meant to define you. How fast they replied, how calm they seemed, how little you needed. You told yourself you were being patient when you were actually enduring. You told yourself you were being empathetic when you were betraying yourself. You told yourself this was love when it was emotional starvation. And without realizing it, you shrank. Your voice got quieter, your needs got smaller, your instincts got ignored, not because he asked you to, but because it felt like the only way to keep the connection alive. And that's the moment you didn't just lose him. You lost yourself. This is where we stop romanticizing pain. This is where we rebuild power. Not manipulation, not silence games, not make them chase tricks. Real rehab. Stop over-explaining. Avoidants don't respond to emotional essays. They don't hear desperation. They feel pressure. Clarity creates safety. Say less. Mean more. Repeat nothing. If something matters, it won't require constant justification. Set emotional boundaries, not ultimatums. A boundary isn't control. It's self-definition. I need emotional consistency to stay connected. That's not a threat. That's information. What they do next tells you everything. Watch behavior, not potential. Avoidants often have good intentions, but intentions don't build relationships. Patterns do. Consistency is capacity, and inconsistency is an answer. Decide, don't wait. The moment you're managing the relationship alone, you already have your answer. Love doesn't require strategy. It requires presence. The goal was never to make him open up. The real question was always this: does this dynamic make me feel emotionally safe? If the answer is no, your body already knows the truth. Healing doesn't come from closure. It comes from alignment. It begins the moment you stop asking to be chosen and start choosing peace over potential. If this felt uncomfortably accurate, save this. Not because it hurts, but because it finally tells the truth. If you've lived this dynamic, comment, "I lost myself." I read every comment. And some of your stories. Become the next video. And if you're done shrinking to be loved, subscribe. This channel isn't about chasing people. It's about reclaiming yourself.